Hi there, I'm Amy with Eclectica Studio and Gifts, and this is the third video in our series of how to paint wooden Easter eggs, 2023 edition. So I have two other videos in the series that have been loaded to the YouTube channel. Go check those out after you're done watching this one, of course. This video is not about completely about using the kit that we're making. It is about using other elements with our kit and getting the best eggs and having the most fun creating them. So let's talk about the kit a little bit. Right over here, we've got this Easter egg kit that we have made. It's a dozen wooden eggs, and then you get 7 little pouches of paint. When you get those, the pouches you're going to have to use up, or you're going to have to put in a little closed container, little portion cups, or even if you put it on a plate or a palette that has raised edges, you can then put it like in a Ziploc and hopefully preserve that paint a little longer. It's got to stay closed because acrylic paint dries very fast. In fact, I was painting with my parents earlier today, and they were shocked with how quickly, as they were working on these eggs, one side would be done by the time they got dry, by the time they got completely done painting. So, but what we're going to do here is, we talked about the eggs. Those eggs are on my website, allthingseclectica.com, and they are available. We have a limited supply. We started off with 20 sets. I know several have been sold even before they went public on the site. So get your sets as soon as you can. And if you love them, let us know. Send us pictures, and we will bring them back in 2024 if everyone loves them. But what we're going to do here is we're going to get really excited, and we're going to have fun doing things with additional sources. Because it's, while you give you that paint and we got you those eggs, you don't have to stop at just that. I want you to think of the sky's the limit. And so what we've done this time is we're going to start off by using the most traditional thing you can. We got this packet of just regular Easter egg dye. This packet we found at Dollar General, and you see the price. It's very inexpensive. We dyed 2 of the eggs here with a green and a blue dye, and I'm fumbling. Of course I'm going to, because it's the way my videos go. But one thing you will notice is there is a right around this thicker area here, the dye didn't adhere quite so well to the egg. We're going to see if that does that again. But we have a theory, and we think it's because these eggs are essentially created by, it's a process, I believe it's called whittling.
Lathe.
Oh, it's lathe? Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. But when they create it, they're spinning and spinning when they make it. And they're just got this blade kind of sawing it down or sanding it down, whatever. This widest spot is where the least bit of it is going to come off from the original wood. So this is the oldest wood of the egg. And we feel that maybe that, because of moisture levels and things like that, that could be why this spot keeps it from dying completely. Now we have painted several, and I'll just grab one of these. This is a painted one, and it adheres beautifully. You know, you put the paint on and you can't tell it that it's any different from a wooden egg or a regular egg. And so it's up to you what you really like and the look you want to go for. Most people aren't going to leave it at just the dye or the paint anyway. You're going to do fun things on top of it. But these I'm going to paint in just a little while, details on top of it. This is what it looks like after it's dyed. But we have started the dye before we started filming the video here today. And I'm going to go ahead and pop 2 of them in the dye. And then on the third, we're going to use a separate technique. So I'm going to start off by doing this. We're going to take this egg and just put it in the dye. This is as packaged directs, and I popped it in real quick, and I'll bring it up, and you see it's already it's already claimed some color. This is the red dye. So it is going to start off by looking a little orange. It probably will go towards a pink in the end. It may actually keep kind of orange though too, because when you think about it, these wooden eggs are much more close in color to yellow tones than they are to the white tones of a traditional egg. So the biggest problem, and we'll see if I can fix it, is eggs like to float, the wooden eggs. So this one is not wanting to go down for me, but we're just going to do whatever we can. What we're going to do here is traditionally, you know, this says here to color eggs up to 5 minutes, or lower it for 5 minutes. That's all they're asking. We're dyeing something completely different. So for me, when we dyed those other two, I think we did it for close to 2 hours. And we are probably going to be dyeing these eggs even after we're off the video. But at the end of the video, I will show you where we're at. So I'm going to put the second egg in the yellow. So this one, we'll do a quick dunk and then we'll bring it up. I think I see quite a difference in the yellow there from just a quick dunk. I think this one might dye actually pretty decently. And being as it started with a yellow color, it might be interesting. It's just going to be a very yellow version of it. So, ooh, there, we got it perfectly propped. Before we put the egg in the third mug, because we're planning on using up, there's 5 tablets in here. We're going to do 5 eggs. We're going to do the method that I'm sure plenty of you did as a kid, that you take a crayon, a white crayon, and you write or draw pictures on the egg. So I'm going to go ahead and put my husband's name, because I have one in my name that I'll be decorating today. Ooh, I'm writing his name kind of wildly, but that's okay. And you will not be able to probably see it unless you get real close. You might be able to see it a little bit because it is white instead of the natural color of the egg. So at that point, I like to put like dots at the end of the letters. I think it kind of makes it look a little bit more deliberate, especially when you are a little bit more wild with how you make your letters. You put just the little dots. And then right there was a little problem in the wood. Like it just, you know, they're natural. So that's why the egg kind of went wild. But go back until you like what you see. And then I'll show you one more time. So what we're going to do there is we're going to take this. This is supposed to be purple dye. It looks very blue to the, you know, the quick look. And see, that's what it looks like after a couple little dunks. And we're just going to try to get that propped. And that one propped pretty nicely. So we're going to let those dye now, just as you would any other Easter egg. And what we're going to do from there is we're going to switch to the next item. So far, we've talked about crayons, we've talked about egg dye, and we've talked about the other things that you can do out of this kit. The next thing we're going to talk about is all the wonderful fun things you can do with paint pens. Now, you've got options. You can go to your local craft store. They have a lot of paint pens sold individually. These are things I got off of Amazon. I also have some individual ones that were in a separate box I got. We're going to paint with the other ones. These are brand new package that hasn't been opened, and so that's why I wanted to show that to you. But we're going to take those and we're going to do some fun things to these just to jazz them up. And I will show you also, these are some that I did ahead of time because it is time consuming if you're going to do a lot of work on these. So this one, I absolutely love how this one turned out. I started off with a dot in the top center there and just used a pattern of dots and brought it out and made it kind of cascade down. What is that? Very feathery to me, almost like a Native American beadwork is what it really reminds me of. And so I'm really thrilled with how that one turned out. And there's no real pattern to that, no rhyme or reason. You just put dots and do lines all the way around until you like what you've got. This is another one that I've done a similar thing to, but I started off by doing some lines and then X's, and that's where the kind of iridescent white area is. On the top, I ended up with a flower, but I just went wild with lines, dots, lines, X's, and it's a really fun egg because, I mean, no one else is going to have that one. So those are two options. I'm going to keep this one somewhat simple, and what we're going to do with this one is we're going to come up with a color that's contrasting what you already have on there. So you've got the blue, you've got the little white circles. Don't forget about that stripe through the center. So that really says to me like black might be a really fantastic option, and maybe even some gold. And so with things like this, you be sure you shake them up properly. And I often will use like a paper towel to just make sure the ink is coming out properly. Just push down on it and then, oh, yep, that looks good. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do dots. And I've got circles all over here. And I'm going to try to put a dot in the middle of each circle. So this one's super simple. And the other good thing about this is this paint dries really fast. You will need to be careful this whole process, but by the time you're all done, it should be good. Just make sure when you move that you look where you're shifting. So I'm concentrating. It gets really quiet when I concentrate. Okay, so I've got those. I need to rotate. So you find a spot that you don't have one done at and rotate. Super easy and fun. So there we go. Now I need to put my finger somewhere here, find a spot around here, and we kind of guide it down because I do have two up at the top that I need to just get just right. So there is the black on that one. Real easy. So here, this one did get my name on it, Amy. Green, my favorite color. And I'm trying to think of what I want to do. This is a tough one. I guess I could do, I'm going to keep it in that color scheme and see if I can get this green to show up. There is an iridescence to these paint pens that I have. So at the very least, the iridescence will show up. And so I think what I'll do is I'm just going to go around and do little star asterisks. I think they're showing up really nicely. Is it coming through on the camera good?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. And then this is just super duper crazy simple. And I like right there that that's got some natural grain to the wood. That nothing was going to die there because that's just the way that that wood piece is going to be. And when you're working with wood, it's best to embrace the naturalness of it. So we're just going to skip right there and let that shine through. Might end up putting a different color dot or something in there, but I'm not going to freak out about it because I think it's kind of cool. So we're going to rotate like I did before and do some more of these little stars. Once we've got mostly covered, I think I'll set that down, and we're going to do one at the top. So just kind of hold it as well as you can and do that. So we went with the green. We're going to hold on to that, and we're going to switch over back to the blue egg. I'm going to put some gold into it. So I think what I'll do with the gold is I'm going to put 4 dots around each of the circles. So we're going to, let's see. Yep, we're pretty dry. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And do that around each of the circles. It's just going to create a very deliberate pattern. And depending on what you choose to do, you can either build off of that or leave it at that. And a lot of the times when I do patterns similar to this, I will just do a step, and then after that I'll go, okay, now I want to put a little red into it, or now I want to put a little green or a little white, anything. And then you go on and you put a dot in between each. You can just keep doing this really until you've filled the egg. Now, depending on how much you want on that egg is going to determine how much you do. This is going to be pretty full with just the dots, especially, and I'm sorry you can't see the side I'm on. You're seeing the sides I've completed. The side I just finished had a lot of those little dots. So I'm probably not going to take it to another step because it's looking pretty full. But I don't know about you. I'm thinking that these kind of look like cat eyes or something, I don't know, almost a little Egyptian to me about this design. And I don't have any true rhyme or reason on what I'm even doing here. I just got on the video and started filming. I knew what techniques we were going to do, but I didn't know what patterns we were going to end up with. I just knew we had, these 2 eggs ready to paint on. But the sky is the limit. If you are unsure of what you want to paint and you need more ideas, I just say Google hand-painted Easter eggs. Get on there, look for that. Get on there, look at different sales sites such as Etsy. Don't take someone else's work and try to sell it as your own. That is very illegal. So if you see someone else's and they're selling them, that's an artist's work. Don't attempt that. But if you see something and you can make your own version of it, change it up completely, use their inspiration. Nothing wrong with that. We're all inspired by something. But I think that one's pretty cool. What do you think? So that is what we're going with. Just double check, look around, make sure all your dots are on there. Like I said, to me, they're kind of, I don't know, there's something peacocky and very Egyptian to me. Okay, so we're going to go back to the Amy egg, and everything is dry. See, that's one of the great things about these acrylic pens. I want to put more color in it since we can, and I'm thinking that this might be the next best step. So we're talking about kind of like a teal, and that pen looks like it's going to work beautifully. So it'll take a little bit more blue into this, and I think instead of more stars, I'm just going to put polka dots this time. So I'm just going to go in between the little stars. Okay, so I've got those dots on there. I'm going to put one maybe there, and then I think I want to put one about there. But I think even still, we need one more color on that before that egg is done, and we're going for white. Polka dots are about the easiest thing. And if you want to paint them with a paintbrush, super easy. Use the back of your brush and put it in the water, or not the water, I'm sorry. Ugh. I've had a long day. Sorry, guys. Put in your paint, and you will be able to get 3 dots out of the back of your brush if you use a paintbrush to create your polka dots. This film, just so you know, was filmed originally on my birthday, and that is why I'm a little loopy. I've had a very long day. I went to Branson for the day, came home and had a delicious dinner with my husband, and we're like, you know what? Let's make the video. So it's not crazy late at night, but it's late at night, and we're filming this because we wanted to get it on there for you. But there we go. It's simple. It's monochromatic. I didn't go crazy by doing a bunch of different wild things. So you kind of see 2 different versions of what you can do with the gel pen, or not the gel pens. I'm sorry, again, broken brain. Acrylic paint pens. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see what the eggs are doing in the water. We are probably going to close the video up after taking a look here, and know that these are not done, and we're going to let these die for probably at least another hour before we call it. So this one here is the red. It's looking pretty good. I am kind of happy with how this color is taking, and yet again, it's got that little band through the middle. But I think that the dye took really nicely. We practically boiled the water this time, I think. So that could be one reason why this is working even. I think it's doing a little bit better than it did on the other ones. We really felt like we had to go really long time on those. And this is the one that I can't get the egg fully submerged in because of the shape of the mug. Then the next one we're going to look at is going to be our yellow. And by the way, these mugs are still like hot, like it's coffee. The yellow looks pretty good, and I'm not seeing much of that band. But look at how, does that come through on the camera, how cool that wood grain is on that? This is why you dye your eggs. It's when you've got wooden eggs. You get to create that. I mean, that is very cool. That is one that I wouldn't have even minded to put a wood stain on that egg. That was a good looking egg. And now we're going to look at the Jason egg. So this one is in what is supposed to be purple, but it looks pretty blue to me. And we've got that same issue where it is resisting near that center. But isn't that cool how that works, that you get the name to pop out like that just by putting the color on it? So still, I'm happy with these. I think they're dyeing really nicely. And we've got the opportunity that after these are done, we've got 3 more eggs to decorate. But we're going to put these back in here. We're going to let it dye probably close till bedtime tonight. And that's talking about probably another 2 hours, I think. If you have any questions, concerns, anything like that, please get a hold of us. The website is allthingseclectica.com. There is a message box on there that you can fill in anything. Or you can go and email us at contacteclectica@yahoo.com. We've got, like I said, we've got the egg kits. Those are available till we sell out. The one thing I forgot to mention earlier is the egg kits do not come with brushes, and I do that on purpose. Anyone who is doing these types of projects, if I bought you brushes that were worth anything, you would accumulate a ton of brushes that are all the same, and they're only okay brushes, probably really not that very good, and you probably are going to throw them away. You're not going to be as happy with the work you do with a crappy brush either. So what I have done is I make it to where if you're going to paint anything with me, just buy the paint brush kit. So right here, it comes in the jar that we use. This jar as our water jar. It comes with instructions that explain to you how to take care of your brushes. And there are 3 brushes of varying sizes. Really large one, a medium-sized one, and a tiny detail brush. Plus, if you get one of the first 12 of these that are available, there are 2 extra small brushes that will help you out. It's really a great set of brushes, $15. And to get those and to have brushes that whenever I instruct, those are the brushes I will use to instruct with. So you will know that you are getting the right brush for the project. But that's all I've got here today. So go get your egg kits before they're sold out. And let me know if you have any questions. Share with us pictures either on Facebook, Instagram, or email us. And we look forward to seeing your Easter egg creations. Happy Easter!